Everybody, welcome back to our episode of FSi DFS Fantasy NASCAR Picks. I'm host Mike Brewer 31, and before we get too far into this video, I will let you know that this is a speculation video. I'll be covering the Xfinity race coming up for Saturday. That's at 5 p.m. It's the same day qualifying. There's too short of window between when qualifying ends, when the race starts, for me to be able to break down the information, fill out the sheet, and then film a video, produce a video, upload a video. It just you guys only have like maybe 20 minutes to watch it. It just doesn't work out. So what I try to do is speculation video. So if you're watching this video, just know that my computer algorithms are the ones that have generated the projected starting order based on history of the track, history on other intermediate tracks. Yes, we're finally out of the super speedway and road courses. This is the first. It's a 1 mile track. So I don't know. I would call it a short track, but I wouldn't. I think intermediate track is probably the accurate description of it. They run 200 laps here, so this is where we want to start looking for dominator points, and it's not just like stack the back as the last 3 weeks have been to start the season. So my model's been pretty good at projecting starting position and finishing position and generating like what fast laps and laps led just based on drivers' histories at these courses. And I know some of them have been in like truck series, some of them are cup drivers that are coming down, and I do have some constraints on my data too when a cup driver comes down to kind of reduce it when a truck driver comes because there's not apples to apples, but it's been years. Been doing this for 6 years, and these speculation models have been pretty successful. And some of them creepily, like one of them nailed like the whole from 5 last year. It was outstanding. So doesn't always work, but we're gonna talk through the slate and everything. And before you turn this off, if you want to stick around for a little bit and be just gonna look back at the previous couple of Phoenix races and kind of talk about how things went there, and then we'll jump into if this data is heading in the right direction, what might happen, but you're going to want to definitely have probably a couple of dominators in your lineup and definitely want to look for a place differential where possible. But then again, some of the guys on the bottom not great equipment and might not really do good on this track. So we'll talk about them and try to systematically eliminate them. So hopefully that helps. But if you want the true data, it's very easy. You go to the description of the video, you can get into our Discord, FSi.com, and sign up. I believe it's like $3 a day or like even $5 for the whole weekend to cover both races. It's very, very inexpensive to if you want all the accurate stuff. And we've actually been crushing it. Believe I have cashed every single late. I'm up a couple grand to start the season with the 3 races between all 3 series that we've had. So it's been very good, and lots of good results from the subs, and it's been fun talking and get to know people in Discord too. So come on and join us. Relatively low price. We've had great results for it too. So let's get into this video. So the first race in Phoenix last year was absolutely dominated by Chandler Smith, and he was in the 81 car. It was a Joe Gibbs car. It's not around this year. So and he's up in actually he's down in the truck series this year too. He just this is one of the bright spots that he had in his career up here, but then now he's back down in the truck series. So obviously, Joe Gibbs, like, so who does benefit? Like Swalich or Almirola has raced here. Taylor Gray, maybe he's got the car that Chandler Smith had last year. Absolute dominant. Jesse Love in his young career as a rookie finished second in this race. Sheldon Creed was up there. Austin Hill was up there. Cole Custer was up there, even though his car's not there. Sheldon Creed has the car now. So that bodes well. The car finished fifth. The driver finished third in the first race. Uh, Brendan Jones was up there. Sammy Smith was up there. And Anthony Alfredo in the top. Look at that. As for laps led, Custer and Chandler Smith are pretty much led the lion's share of it. As for the back of the field, it was like Emmerling, Vargas, Jeb Burton, Retzloff had an accident. Sam Mayer had an accident. Haley Deegan had an accident. Joe Nemechek and Almirola, who was one of the favorites, got taken out as an accident. He qualified eighth. Who had the pole? The pole was Cole Custer. And second, Corey Heim was third in the 26 in qualifying. Allgaier finished 29th. He was involved in an accident also, but he had let 52 laps. So he usually does pretty good here. So trying to see who starts second. Chandler should start second. Okay. So then let's fast forward to the fall race. Now the fall race was a little bit different because it was the championship race. And with the championship race, you have some professional courtesy for the drivers there in the finals. It was won by Riley Herbst, who was in a Stuart Haas car, and that was the last race for Stuart Haas in Xfinity before they closed out shop, and then Haas factory took over a couple of the cars, but only a couple on Xfinity. I think he's got two up in Cup. No, he's got two out here because Sam Mayer's not here. So, no idea who has this car, but it was pretty dominant. 167 laps led here, and my guess is it's probably the car that Mayer has. So Allgaier had another strong day too, won the title. He started 37th, finished second. Almirola, he usually does really well on these like 1 mile shorter flat tracks, and he started 38th, finished third. Zilich actually got some cup time up here, started 21st and finished fourth. Chandler Smith again, another top five. Jesse Love, another, he finished second, he finished sixth here. Sheldon Creed finished, I think, third, and then he finished seventh here. Cole Custer was up there again. Austin Hill's up there again. Sam Mayer was up here again. Swalich actually was on the pole, finished 13th. Sammy Smith, the top 15. Jeb Burton did better here, started 16th, finished 16th. Brandon Jones started 33rd, got up to 18th. Not as good as his run in the spring. But who's in the back? Stefan Parsons, Greg Van Alst again, Anthony Alfredo, who he actually had a really good race in the first one in the top 10. Here he was in an accident. He started 12th. So I think, Alfredo definitely has some upside here as I look at this. And Retzloff, I mean, another accident, another bad finish at this track. So some trends to look at. So looking at the data, it's given Almirola the pole, and I get it. He's again good on short flat tracks here. A former Cup driver that comes down and runs a limited series races in Joe Gibbs equipment. Probably one of the best all-star cars that rotates in the Xfinity series, besides like the Hendricks one. And I just look at him as Dominator. I think he's going to get the pole. If he's anywhere up in the top five, I think you can treat him as a Dominator. He should get there pretty fast. And if he's down in the field, he's probably going to be listed as a prime play. Taylor Gray, I think a lot of this, his data was like predicated on this truck series success, but I don't think he's going to qualify second here. But then again, like I said, if he has the same car and setup as Chandler Smith, that was absolutely dominant in that one race here and had a solid finish in the fall, then maybe he does have a really good day. He's a decent driver. He's on a good team. It's it might take him a little bit of time to break out because we keep on saying that it's better for people to move from like modifieds or like actually driving like cars into Xfinity than going from a truck to Xfinity. You don't often see like instant success because there's a little bit more of a steeper learning curve from the way the trucks handle to the way the Xfinity cars handle. So we'll see how Taylor Gray does there. But I think he's going to be a GPP for me. Sheldon Creed is upside dominator. I think that he definitely is one that you can consider here to be. He's still like a little volatile. That's why he's always a GPP in a tournament play for me. Um, but just one that I just want to keep my eye on there in my dominator pool. I'll have to see how, like, if he gets a pole as fast as in practice, and obviously it's a no-brainer. He turns purple into like a regular dominator, but I think he's more of an upside dominator here. Jesse Love, the same thing. Looking at his success that he had, he just didn't have like laps led in either of the races, and that's, good finishes are one thing, but if you're up there at 10K, you're gonna have to lead some laps, and I don't know. Actually, he had like 6 laps led, but you're gonna need more than that. Sheldon Creed had 20 laps led in the fall, so that's a little bit more um, better when it comes point wise to try to get to um, pay off their salary. I guess again, a kind of an unknown here, kind of like Gray. Uh, Not in as good equipment as Gray, but he's had success in Phoenix, so I think he'll be okay depending on further on down the field. He starts better, obviously, but I think it's GPP here for Zilich. Has a strong start in his Cup Series and Xfinity debut, and finishing fourth here at last year. He's got the experience, and I think that he's one that can be solid. It's got him leading probably the third most laps, so I have him as a cash play. Depending on how far he starts up there, he could be a dominator. Depending on how far he starts down, because he only qualified like 21st. So if he doesn't have a great qualifying effort, but you maybe to set up the car more for like the long run and for like speed versus like a hot lap. So I think that he's one that can definitely be cash or maybe even a dominator, depending on how far close to the top he's going to start. Allgaier is going to be a dominator here. Also, I really want to try to get Allgaier and Allmendinger in the same lineup. We'll see if that happens. The only other problem is that you have Bowman in the same price point too, and I think that he hasn't traditionally qualified well in Phoenix, but has run well in Phoenix. So I know his projection doesn't look great there, but I have the prime tag. But so I think you're really gonna have to look and see like where the chips fall when you get this, and look at who has an opportunity to go up there and dominate to pay off their 10K price tag, and if Allgaier or Almirola are up there, or Bowman. I think Bowman would be probably my third choice out of them. I take Almirola and Allgaier over the two of them, just based on aggressiveness and how much I feel that they could go out there and lead laps. But I think that all three would be in place. There's gonna be some tough choices here with that, but I definitely like what I've seen with Allgaier and Almirola. Sammy Smith, I think, is going to be my third dominator here. Again, it depends on where you stay, but I've just with looking at laps led history here and in previous races, like he's been up there and been okay. I think all the JR Motorsports cars are going to be strong, so we'll just have to see how they qualify. Hill, just after looking at his finishes, I think that he has potential to have a strong day. If he looks great in practice and qualifying and is up in like the top three, then maybe he turns into a purple dominator. But I think he's got tremendous upside. Matt Benedetto looks like he qualifies pretty well here at Phoenix, but just doesn't always run that well. So didn't really want to put fade on him, but I think that he might qualify at top 15 and like end up finishing anywhere between like 25 and 15. So I think you can lose like maybe up to 10 place differential points. So kind of a dangerous play. Don't want to throw the fade on it, but I'm going to give it GPP for now. Brandon Jones, there's Brandon Jones types of tracks and there's non-Brandon Jones types of tracks, and I think he's pretty good here. So had some decent finishes. I know that he uh, had in the he was a little bit disappointing. Uh, but he had problems all day, and from a 33rd place to get up to 18th was pretty good, and he had a solid run in the spring. So I think that, and he's into a Gibbs car also. And again, maybe it's the Chandler Smith one that they had last year. So I think that he's gonna have low ownership because people really don't trust him that much. So I think he makes a perfect 100K or 10K candidate for the top GPP. Harrison Burton, I'm gonna put as a cash play. It's Harrison Burton. I mean, this AM racing car, like Deegan ran it last year, but like Logano and some other people jumped in, and it wasn't like they had like instant success in it, like some of the other drivers that dropped down. There's still like a little bit of a struggle, but I think Burton's at the appropriate series now, and I think that you're gonna see him win some races, and he was like leading the road course last week. So I don't think that he's gonna be a title contender, but I think he's gonna fare better than he did up in the Cup Series. So I think that he can be a solid cash play for you. Mayor, I'm going to give the other 10K because I know that he has led laps here previously, and if he has the Riley Herbst car that was just absolutely dominant here in the fall last year, then it could be a pretty surprising car here. So if he's like fastest in practice and qualifying, he's up on like the pole, then he's definitely not going to be a 10K driver. He's going to be a cash play, a prime play, or even like a purple dominator play as one of your primary dominators. But if he isn't, and he's kind of back in the pack a little bit, then he's one that you want to keep your eye on. That could be a sneaky low owned because again, he's been rubbed some people the wrong way, been a little bit volatile too. So I think that he and Brandon Jones make a nice pairing for 10K. I don't have the third guy in here. It's kind of um, hard to do that, but let's try to see if anybody really pops. Maybe, maybe Taylor Gray if the if the Toyotas are good and the Gibb cars are good, he would be another sneaky one to put in the 10K category. Next two drivers you have is Diane Swalich. Like I said, Swalich had a solid run. Maybe, yeah, that's where I'm going. I'm not going with Gray. Um, I am going to go with Swalich as the other 10K guy, just because he ran last year here. He had a solid run. Um, he had the pole also, and he was in a Gibbs car. He didn't lead any laps, but I think that I don't think he's going to get the pole again. But I think that he's going to have, especially if like depending on where he starts, I think he can have a solid day. So there's your 10K drivers. I know they're all kind. It's going to be lead you to a more balanced lineup because you're probably only going to get one 10K guy, and you're going to have to go value after that. But that could still be a solid lineup. Retzloff, as I said, we're fading just because like two races here last year and just horrible, horrible results. You just can't do it. Moment I said dropping down, like all the Hendricks guys are going to come and spend time in the 17 car throughout, and it's his turn this week. He's a cup driver. He's in an excellent car here. Just has to go from the sequential shifter to the H pattern one, but that should be fine for him. I don't think it's going to be too much an issue. Price tag's kind of steep. Probably gonna need to lead some laps or have some really good place differential to pay it off. And I think he's definitely gonna be a prime play with that tag. He's gonna be the third priority if I think Allgaier and Almirola are in a better situation. Deegs always a solid cash play. Jeb Burton's run well here. I know he had one there. He kind of finished in the back because he had an accident or something. I think that was the early race. He started 16th, finished 16th. I mean, that's you can't really argue with that for the um and the other race started 17th but got taken out in an accident and finished 36. So he's probably gonna start in the middle of the teens, and where do we have him? 19. So that's a couple less than like where he usually starts this race. But if he can kind of finish where he starts at 6,900, has a clean day, he definitely be able to pay off his price tag of 6,900. Nicholas Sanchez, I like this big machine racing, and I think he did really good things with Parker Cunningham last year. I will have to, and Sanchez was pretty talented in truck racing out of nowhere. He just came and started like hanging out in the top 10 and top five, and he made some mistakes here and there and didn't always finish races, but he was pretty solid nonetheless. And I think it's a good combination with big machine racing here. But still, jury's still out. I want to see how he does Xfinity. I want to see how he does them in immediate tracks before I play him in cash. So give me a GPP for that one. Jeremy Clemens is always solid. Carson Quaffle, my model loves him here. I don't know why. has him finishing eighth, 12 place differential points, giving us some fast laps. So we'll have to see if that actually transpired. So I'll throw the cash tag on him. If you want like a little bit more balanced build to get you from the couple 10K guys and an 8K guy that's gonna make it so you don't have to like vomit in your mouth when you put the last three drivers in your lineup. You might be able to have like a more solid balanced build if you want to throw him in as a cash play. Kyle Sieg and Dean Thompson are GPP plays. I know Sieg's like it has a projected start in 23rd. He'll probably start like 33rd, and that'd be perfectly fine because he can move up like 5 places and pay off his salary there. Dean Thompson, the Sam Hunt racing car. Like I said, I was in it in the fall race and did pretty good. Or was he in an accident? Let's see here. Let's see the car listed, but oh, maybe that's just from race. Anyways, I felt that he did pretty good, so I think that's safe for GPP. If he starts further on down, then he could be a cash play. Williams is always a solid cash play with a floor. Joey Gase is gonna be a fade. I just don't trust the team and the equipment and the driver to be able to make it through. Alfredo, I think is a prime play. He just had some, besides the accident, in the one like he's generally had solid outings in Phoenix and I think that should be continue there and it's a nice value play there a little bit at 7K. I know if you want to drop down a little bit more then I get it. You'll just have to find a car from like an Alpha Prime Racing or Jordan Anderson or something down here. Just like DGM and Mike Harmon and some of these single car teams are just too scary that they don't really have like the start and park problem where they had a couple years ago where drivers would just come and they'd start the race and run like 5 laps and park the car and take the check home so they didn't wreck it and contribute the process and then maybe one race a year they'd actually go for it. It's, you don't see that as much anymore. Ellis Pool Cram, it's kind of the same story, and I like the Pool, and she's most expensive because he's an Alpha Prime car. Not that that's an elite program, but it's a stronger program than most of them. Ellis and Cram are GPPs, maybe fades if they start too high. Perkins has been solid for this Jordan Anderson team. I can definitely see him, even though Russ laughed and the car was horrible. Here, I think that he's totally turning things around and it's a better ride and equipment than he's had previously. So I think he has the cash floor, just as solid as driver out there as like Jeb Burton or some of the other ones that we pick, Jeremy Clement, in cash on a regular basis. Chris Wright, the R program's okay. I think he's going to be GPP, but if he starts this far down, he might be a cash play, a value play if you need it. Brad President, given the prime too, I think he's got great potential for place differential. He's in an Alpha Prime car, and he usually qualifies pretty poor towards the back, so that should give you an excellent opportunity to have some place differential there and save some money. And then Garrett Smithley and Thomas. Nobody put it the phonics for me in the chat. So I'm just going to continue to butcher this until I come up with a nickname for him. Thomas Annunziata. Annunziata. GPP. Licky's GPP, and then Lentz and Van Alst, like Van Alst, who finished almost dead last in the last 2 races. Just equipment's not good, driving's not good, just not good situation to be in. So I got for you. Again, I apologize, not the real video, but again, just if you go to FSi.com, you can sign up. You can get in the Discord, and as soon as the qualifying is done, I will post the sheet with the updated information and projections and everything on that, and I'll give you a core so you can start your build. So that's what I got for you. The cup video will be, we will have qualifying, so that is a plus and bonus there, and we can definitely be able to have like more accurate information, be able to do a better video there. But let's see how this does. Well, I you've told me over the years you'd rather have speculation video than no video at all. So That's what I'm doing for you. I'm getting out for you a little bit early, so you have some chance to watch it and digest it before qualifying to kind of get some information, take some notes. So, thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Good luck in your contest. Stay tuned to if you want some other stuff like Charlie does some really good fantasy soccer videos, so check those out on the channel also. And baseball is just around the corner. If you're interested in that, we're doing spring training on a daily basis. You can sign up for that also on the website. So thanks for watching. Good luck in your contest. Hope you have an amazing weekend. I'll see you next time.